Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rahak, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to all Akim, preaching his word in truth and sincerity and in faith. I'm the brother Yeshaya from the GMS Plain Tables Camp here in Philadelphia. And I just wanted to do a quick lesson on how brothers should view the ability to do this work as a privilege, as an honor, and you should do it with joy and not see it as something that's mundane or that you're being forced to do. And I'm gonna look up that word for mundane real quick. Mundane. Yeah, for mundane it has lacking interest or excitement, dull. Yeah, you're not supposed to view this work as something that's not interesting or that's dull. Alright, yeah, that was it. This is First Peter chapter 5 verse 2. It says, feed the flock of the Most High, which is among you. Yeah, you're supposed to feed the flock that's among you. Like Yahweh Shai told Peter in John the 21st chapter, if you love me, feed my sheep. Yeah, you're supposed to feed the sheep of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. It says, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint. Yeah, you're not supposed to see feeding the flock as something that's being forced upon you, something that you have to do, something. I mean, it is a requirement, but you shouldn't even view it that way. It should be viewed as something that you want to do. Like it says right here, it says, but willingly. It says not. I'm gonna look up that word constraint real quick. Yeah, for constraint, it has by force or constraint. It says not by constraint, but willingly. Yeah, you're supposed to do this work willingly, of a willing mind. It says not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. And I looked up that word filthy lucre. It says money, especially when gained in a dishonest or dishonorable way. Yeah, you're not supposed to be doing this work to make merchandise of men, to make money of men, like the scripture says in Proverbs. I'm gonna get it real quick. Proverbs 23rd chapter. This is Proverbs chapter 23 verse 23. It says, buy the truth and sell it not. Yeah, you're supposed to buy the truth because it's why? Because it's precious. It's a thing of value. It says, and sell it not. Yeah, you're not supposed to be making merchandise of the truth for filthy lucre's sake. Which for filthy lucre, it said, money, especially when gained in a dishonest or dishonorable way. Yeah, so if you're making merchandise of this truth, you're making money off of this truth. You're basically making it in a dishonest or a dishonorable way. So, yeah, this is 2 Peter 1 verse 10. It says, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. Yeah, you're supposed to give diligence to make your calling and election sure. And how do you make your calling and election sure? By doing this work, by feeding the flock of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, by going as hard as you can. That's how you make your calling and election sure. It says, for if you do these things, you shall never so you shall never fall. So if you're doing this work, going as hard as you can, you're not gonna fall, because you know that that's what's required of you. You're doing the requirements. You're meeting the requirements. This is Acts chapter 20 verse 26. It says, wherefore I take you to record this day that I am pure from the blood of all men. I believe this is Paul speaking. Yeah, Paul saying he's pure from the blood of all men. And how are you made pure from the blood of all men? This is Ezekiel chapter 3 verse 17. It says, son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. So the Most High It's saying he's made us a watchman unto the house of Israel. It says, therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. Yeah, so when you come into the knowledge of this truth, this knowledge and understanding of the scriptures, you've basically heard the word at the Most High's mouth through his servants, the prophets, preaching his word day in and day out. It says, and give them warning from me. Yeah, so once you heard this truth, you're supposed to give the people, these Israelites, warning from the Most High that what? If they don't turn back from their ways, they're gonna be destroyed for it. Verse 18, it says, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his way to save his life. Yeah, that's what through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai, that's what we're doing when we're warning the wicked to turn from their wickedness. We're basically we're saving his life, like it says right here. It says, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. So if you're not warning the wicked to turn from their wickedness, you're not feeding the flock daily, it says the Most High is going to require their blood at your hand. Verse 19, it says, yet if thou warn the wicked and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. Yeah, that's how you deliver your soul, by warning the wicked to turn from their wickedness. Then your soul is delivered, like Paul said. It says, verse 20, it says, again, when a righteous man doth turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity, and I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall die, because thou hast not given him warning. So even the ones that are in this truth, that know that they're Israelites, that are trying to, serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai, which it says the righteous man, you're supposed to be warning them also. You can't think, okay, because somebody's in this truth, you don't have to give them warning, you don't have to reprove, you don't have to correct them. You still have to do that. You still have to warn them if you see them doing something that they're not supposed to be doing. It says, because thou hast not given him warning, he shall die in his sin. And his righteousness which he hath done shall not be remembered, but his blood will I require at thine hand. So all the good works that he did in his truth and his ministry is not going to be remembered, and the Most High is going to require his blood at your hand. Why? Because you didn't give him warning, you didn't reprove him of the wickedness that he was doing, that he was going off, that he was doing something that he's not supposed to be doing. It says, nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man that the righteous sin not, and he doth not sin, he shall surely live, because he is warned. Also thou hast delivered thy soul. Yeah, so in warning the Akim, if you see, a brother doing something he's not supposed to and reproving him, you're going to deliver your soul by doing that. I'm going to go back to Acts. This is Acts chapter 20, verse 26. Wherefore I take you to record this day that I am pure from the blood of all men. Yet Paul was saying that he's pure from the blood of all men. Why? Because he preached the gospel, as to the best of his ability. He went as hard as he could. He warned the wicked, he warned the righteous. It says, for I have not shunned to declare unto you all the gospel of the Most High. Yeah, Paul declared the whole gospel, not some of the gospel, not just the good parts about the gospel, the good and the bad. And he did it with fervency, This is verse Acts 20 and 28. It says, take heed therefore unto yourselves and to all the flock over which the Holy Spirit hath made you overseers, to feed the church of the Most High, which he hath purchased with his blood. I'm going to look up that word for overseer real quick. And for overseer, it says a man charged with the duty of seeing that things be done by others are done rightly, any curator, elder, overseer. It says the superintendent, elder, or overseer of a church. Yeah, so you're supposed to basically watch over the church, the body, the flock, making sure everything goes right. This is Jeremiah chapters 20 verse 9. It says, "Then I said, I will not make mention of him nor speak any more in his name." Yeah, so Jeremiah was catching hell, basically catching affliction, being persecuted for the word's sake, for the words of the Most High. And he said he's not going to make mention of him because he was getting tired of being persecuted, for the word. It says, "But his word was in my heart as a burning fire shut up in my bones, and I was weary with forbearing, and I could not stay." Yeah, the words of the Most High was like a fire burning in his body, in his bones. And that's the way we're supposed to be. The word should be like a fire in us. You see what I'm saying? So no matter what we do, we have no choice but to speak the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It says, "And I was weary with forbearing," so he couldn't keep himself from speaking. It says, "And I could not stay." And that's the same way we're supposed to be in his truth. We're supposed to speak the words, and the words should be like a fire in us. This is This is Isaiah chapter 62, verse 6. It says, "I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night." Yeah, so we're the watchmen over Israel, over Jerusalem, which Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. We're the watchmen over Jerusalem. It says, "which shall never hold their peace day nor night." Yeah, so we have to not hold our peace day nor night. We have to preach this gospel day in and day out. It says, "Ye that make mention of Yahweh, keep not silence." Yeah, we're not supposed to keep silence. We're supposed to speak at every chance we get. Speak on the word, speak on these prophecies, okay? Speak on the glory of the Most High, glorifying his name, glorifying the name of his son, Yahushai, day in and day out. It says, "And give not him not rest till he and give him not no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem and a praise in the earth." Yeah, so we're not supposed to give him rest until the day where he makes Israel, which says Jerusalem, a praise in the earth, and Jerusalem isn't a praise in the earth. So that means we have to keep, basically bothering the Most High until it says, "and give him no rest," until Jerusalem, the nation of Israel, is established in the earth. And the nation of Israel has not yet been established in the earth. So that means we have to keep going, not holding our peace. This is It said, this is 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 5. It says, "But watch thou in all things." Yeah, we're supposed to be watching for these prophecies, watching for the end, basically. Watching for the coming and the return of the Most High Son, Yahweh Shai. It says, "Endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist." An evangelist is basically someone that preaches the gospel, the good news. It says, "Make full proof of thy ministry." And that's how you make full proof of your ministry, by preaching the word, you know, being fervent, preaching the word with joy. Like I said in the beginning, seeing it as a privilege and doing it, going as hard as you can, because that's how you make full of your ministry. And that's what Paul did. I'm gonna read verse 7. This is 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 7. It says, "I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith." Yeah, a part of the faith is preaching his word. Because if you're not preaching his word, then you don't fully and truly have faith. Because that's a part of the faith, is preaching his word. I'm gonna jump to Psalms 116, verse 10. It says, "I believe, therefore have I spoken." Yeah, so if you believe in these words, you're going to speak these words to show that you believe. If somebody believes in something, they're going to speak on it. You're not going to believe in something and never talk about it. You see what I'm saying? It says, "I was greatly afflicted." Yeah, so you're going to be afflicted for these words that you speak. You're going to be persecuted. You're going to catch all manner of hell, face trials and tribulations for the word that you speak. This is Hebrews 4 and 11. It says, "Let us labor, therefore, to enter into that rest." Yeah, to enter into the kingdom, we have to labor. You're not just going to cruise right into the kingdom by not working, you know. Yeah, the scriptures say we're saved by faith, and not by works, but you still had to put in the work. Yahweh Shai put in the work. So why wouldn't you have to put in the work? Nobody gets something for free, even though salvation is a gift and it's a grace to the Most High. But you still got to work. You're not just gonna slide right into the kingdom being lazy, not doing anything. It says, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief. Okay, I think this is the last scripture. This is Hebrews chapter 6, verse 10. It says, for the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love. Yeah, so the Most High is not going to forget the work that we do, the work that we put in, making our body a living sacrifice unto Him by doing this work. It says, for the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which Ye have showed toward His name. So when you do this work, you're showing love towards the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, like Yahweh Shai told Peter, if you love me, feed my sheep. That's how you showing that you love the Most High and you love His Son Yahweh Shai, by doing this work. Going as hard as you can. It says, in that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister. So you have to minister to the saints, to the elect, which the word minister means to serve. It said, verse 11, it says, and we desire that every one of you do show the same diligence to the full assurance of hope unto the end. Yeah, you have to show diligence in doing this work. Now I'm going to look up that word. I looked up that word diligence. For the word diligence, it says careful and persistent work or effort. Yeah, you have to be persistent in this work. Yeah, you got to be persistent. Not giving up when a hard time comes, or it might seem like at times it might seem like it's too difficult to do. You have to be. That's what it means to be persistent. So that was it. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rahak Ladash. Again, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the Akim preaching His word in truth and sincerity and in faith. Shalom.